All right, hey now, it's the Rob and Gavin from
what's going on?
Kiss FM, and we're here because we are passionate about...
wrestling!
We're passionate about wrestling.
But this is not what this is about.
We're passionate about video games.
Yes! Also not what this is about.
We're also passionate about comic books.
And lovemaking.
Exactly.
Which is what this is about.
So we're here together on screen to do one of those things, and it's make love.
Yes, it's going to be very intimate. We've lit candles in the studio. It is... No, nobody wants to watch that. Also,
it actually smells like dog poop in here because literally an hour ago a dog took a huge dump in this room.
That's actually a thing that occurred.
It's been cleaned up marginally.
But one thing that is not dog poop is the new issue of The Walking Dead.
That's right, we've got it here. And we both have a chance to rate it by now, and we wanted to discuss it because everyone's talking about The Walking Dead.
Yes.
This is now a great time to start a conversation because it was part one of what is being known as the Whisperer War.
Yes, and the comics clearly are a lot further along than the show, which a lot of people are excited about. Season 7 coming back in October, who's Negan gonna kill,
right?
Stuff like that. But there's a lot of cool stuff happening right now in the Walking Dead comic book, and just as a warning, this is going to be full of spoilers.
Yeah, so we've read it. We want to talk about it.
If you have not read Walking Dead 157, you will be spoiled, and you'll have no one to blame but yourself. Or your parents, because that's who I still blame for everything.
All right, so 157 wasted no time. We both loved 156.
Yes, so good.
The way that signed off with the whole issue focused on Negan and his entryway, so to speak, into the Whisperer camp, ultimately leading up to the cover scene, which was him stabbing, essentially decapitating, I guess is a better way to say what he did.
Decapitating Alpha. For Rick's group.
Right. So when we pick up on his storyline, which is on page 2, it's just like he's happy to see everybody. Like there's no problem with it. Just typical Negan way, and they're following him in the reticle, and Dwight wants to kill him. Yeah,
Dwight wants to kill him. Negan not happy that Dwight is walking around with Lucille, which is the barbed wire wrapped baseball bat that Negan is famous for using on people. Rick, though, does not fully trust Negan at this point. Even though he's done all these things, he could have escaped the cell back in about 15 issues ago. He could have escaped the cell. He stayed in, and now he actually infiltrates.
Which was such a cool storyline twist, like because they left you hanging with like the cell open, and you think like he could have gotten out or whatever, and you spent that whole month thinking like he's out of here, and then they return. It's like whoa, he just decided to sit tight.
And then he crosses the enemy territory, infiltrates the Whisperers in less than a week, and gets close enough to kill and decapitate Alpha, bring her head back to Rick, and be like, hey, what now? You still gonna lock me back up? And Rick doesn't lock him back up, which, were you surprised by that?
Well, I feel like, if I'm surprised, no, I'm not surprised. And kudos to the writing team for making us feel, they spent like 100 issues painting this guy to be like a bad guy and the most evil being of all time. They created, in the process, one of the coolest characters in all of comics.
Ever. Like
in the history of anything, yeah. And now they've got us pulling for him to be free.
They are turning him into Vegeta, which if you're familiar with Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta, big bad in the first season, and then becomes one of the core fighters for the good guys.
But not only that, they've also positioned him to be like a very good wartime leader, and that's probably what they're going to want him to be, especially with Rick's feeble condition right now. You're going to want him being on the front line.
Yeah.
And he's game for everything. He kind of just wants forgiveness. Mm-hmm. So that is Negan and Rick's angle happening right now as we go into 158 Part 2 of the Whisperer War. Go ahead.
The other big thing we have is we find out where Stephanie, who Eugene's been talking to on the ham radio, where she's from. She says she's from Ohio. Do you believe her?
I suppose. I don't know how ham radio technology works. I barely know how real radio technology works.
We work in it too, and we have no idea.
Can someone on the East Coast reach Ohio with a ham radio?
Probably.
Okay.
On Stranger Things, they could talk to the underworld. So
I suppose, but that was just a walkie-talkie. This is a different technology. I didn't think that they could reach that far, but I have no reason to not trust her yet. Mm-hmm. So I want to say that this is kind of my favorite angle right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
This Eugene thing, because last month they provided us with nothing with Eugene, And if I'm not mistaken, maybe even the month before, there wasn't at least much to do with Eugene. Now we're kind of getting somewhere, and I know you don't watch Fear the Walking Dead, but this is very reminiscent of something that happens in Fear the Walking Dead.
Okay.
Where one of the characters kind of starts a romance with someone, they're on boats, they're using the local radio, and they kind of start a relationship like that, and despite warnings, she leads them to their boat, which gets overtaken. And so this, I wonder if it's going to be a similar kind of thing, or if there's some sort of possible safe haven or some sort of
That'd be cool.
refuge there at wherever they are in Ohio.
All right, so the issue ends with a 16 panels of showing the main characters and side characters from the Whisperer War arc. Who do you think is going to live? Who do you think is going to die? What are your predictions for this arc?
Boy, I don't know. In the letter hacks, they really imply that the next issue will begin with a big death.
Okay.
It's kind of, did you read letter hacks or not?
I did a little bit.
Okay, yes. There's an implication that there's going to be some death early on. But I don't have any real predictions. Do you?
I think Gabriel's going to die. I think Gabriel seeing the herd is pretty much sealing his fate. I've seen some fan theories on Reddit saying that he's going to die sounding the horn, which will be a good full circle for his arc because...
Oh, to sacrifice himself?
Yeah, which would be good.
Okay.
I think Aaron could probably die because they were having him and Jesus flirting a lot, so I think that probably means he's going to die because Robert Kirkman does not like people to feel joy for long periods of time.
That's true, okay. Let's see. I don't think any of the people who are on the covers, Michonne or Rick or Negan, none of them are going to go in this arc, I don't think.
I could see maybe them killing Andrea. I could see that happening.
Oh, man, you know what? There's a point there. I don't know. I haven't thought about that question. So you think Aaron's first to go?
I think Aaron's going to be first to go. Either Aaron or Gabriel is my prediction.
Interesting. I'll say Gabriel. That was the first name that came to mind, only because he got that full page for the zoom in on his face before that 2-page reveal of everything that was coming to them. What's coming to them appears to be a mix of living and dead. Yeah. It appears to be the Whisperers draped in zombie clothing leading real zombies. Is that what you take from that?
Yes.
Okay.
And then again, though, Rick's overconfidence. Could this be the arc that Rick does get killed?
I mean, they have certainly put a lot into this. I mean, we knew the Whisperer War was on the way. It would be worthy of a title character being killed off. I say no.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't know. I think that there's no better time to do it because this is almost a 30-issue arc now. Because the Whisperers appeared for the first time in 133, 134, somewhere around there.
You're better with the numbers than I am.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So we're 20 issues into this.
Yeah, it's been a huge thing. I'm excited to see once it gets to TV too, because this has been a huge angle that will visually be cool. I'm excited to see Shiva the tiger on the TV show. That's going to look cool. Yeah. Just I'm excited to see what these people look like wearing the dead skin. It's going to look cool the way it plays out on TV. Anything else we need to mention that is a big...
The only depressing thing is this arc is running until February.
Yeah, I do hate, because I was a compendium reader. I read the first 3, and then this guy here caught me up on the comics. And it's tough waiting a month for 25 more pages.
Yeah. But they seem to be packing a lot into there. So
this was a very efficient issue. They even said in the letter hacks, we took kind of a different approach to it, mentioning the 16-panel approach. And with that, you can put a lot more dialogue and a lot more plot into that when you have more panels to work with. So... all right. Well, I'm excited for part 2.
I am too. I'm excited too. And we only have, 30 days to wait now?
Yeah, only 30, exactly.
So we'll see you in 30 days.
So we'll have another one for you. I don't know if there's any other comics that we both read, but we can...
we can find something.
I'm sure so. I mean, I know we both read X-Men 92.
Yeah.
I picked up issue number 1 of Kill or Be Killed this month. I could lend that to you if you want to try that. So maybe next week we'll have another edition of...
Whatever we call
this show.
Yes.
With Rob and Gavin.